Okay, right? Okay. You awake?
Yeah. Hey, you awake?
Hi everyone, and welcome back to The Upside. We are busy giving some updates on our fertility journey and things that we have discovered over the past couple of months, actually the last year. And in our previous videos we discussed the influence that cancer had on our decisions and our yearning to be parents. So in today's video I would like to talk about some of the mind shifts and changes that we've made since we made certain discoveries. Because I think you can operate according to a certain set of beliefs and values, but if you come to a place where you actually find those things to be a little bit abnormal, I suppose is the word, or even though it's a normal reaction to an abnormal input, if you discover that there's actually different ways of thinking about things, I think you get to a place where you then have to make a decision to start thinking differently about those things. So firstly, when Francia was diagnosed with cancer, it came totally out of the blue, out of nowhere, that, oh, and by the way, you also might not be able to have children ever. We were completely shocked by that, and we've made quite a few videos about that, so we don't want to bore you. You can go back on our playlist and everything is there. But that was very unexpected. So for it to be cancer and for us to deal with that at such a young age and so early on in our marriage was tough enough, but then also to face the possibility that we might not ever be able to have children was unfathomable. So it was never an option. It was never an option not to have children. It was never part of our plan. It was never even a possibility. So we went through quite some drastic measures to make sure that there's still a possibility for us to have children. We also discussed that in the previous video, and we will be discussing that even more. But that was something that if anybody brought that possibility up in conversation, we just, went against that because we wanted to have children. Full stop. Yeah, I know, we still do. But it was never, like, we thought that would be the worst thing ever, to not be able to have children. I think the worst thing ever would be if Francia died, and he didn't. He's here, he's healthy. I mean, that's great. That's what we hoped for, that's what we prayed for. So that was the one thing. And then the other thing is, people kept on saying, but you're still young. At the moment I'm 31. All of this happened when I was 28, and now it's 3 years down the line. And so people keep on saying you're still very young, you still have a lot of time. And then I just think to myself, if I have to wait another 3 years, another 4, 5, 6, 10 years, that would be absolutely horrible. That's the way I used to think about it. For more on this topic, go watch our previous video, because we talk about the real reasons why we felt pressed for time and why we felt it was very urgent for us to have children. So recently, when we started to discover what all of this was actually about and why we felt so much more pressure than I would guess, normal people. So after we made those discoveries, certain things started to change. So for instance, the first thing is, what if we never have children? Would that be the worst thing ever? Obviously we still want children. That's not going to change. Like our normal, need, or what do you call it, like your biological need, and that it's still part of our plan. It's not something that we are cancelling or anything. Never. We still want children, but we've started to deal with some of, with the possibility that what if it never happens? And that took a long time. For me personally, that took about 2 years to even just start thinking in that direction. And the other thing is, what if it takes a couple of years? So recently when I went to see my psychologist, we just spoke about, what it's like if you have children when you're much older. And we just started to talk about all of the advantages. You know, many of the disadvantages are well known and discussed frequently, like you're older, you don't feel like it, you don't have the energy, blah blah blah. But also, you're much more established in your career, you've had time to save, you've had time to do things. So maybe when you're more ready to kind of settle down, the timing is better. You know, there are upsides to this. It's not ideal, it's not something that you aim for, but if it happens, I'm not gonna die. You know, like, that's how I felt. I felt like that's the worst thing ever. So that started to change, you know, the way that I think about having children and the future with you. Then the other thing that started to change is just the way that our life is organized. So maybe if you want to talk about the house, you know, what we said about the baby's room and things.
Alright. Okay, so we also have videos. We're planning to build a house soon. The plans are almost ready and everything. So originally we wanted to have children first and then build the house, because obviously it depends how many children we have. We want to see what's it like living with a baby, how big does the room need to be. And then, because things have been dragging on for so long, we said, what the hell, we'll just build the house and get babies later. And now I'm thinking, the reason we're building the house is to have extra room for when we do have children, because our current house is a bit small, we can't really fit children in here comfortably. And now we decided, but if we don't have children, then we'll just turn the extra rooms into like a study or yeah, something else in the room.
Yeah, we just said to each other, like, why are we still building this house? Because the two of us can live here very comfortably. It's all for children, but now it's not happening, it's taking too much time. Why are we still going through with it? And we said, no, just let's do it for us.
And at least we'll have a bigger garden as well.
Yeah.
Because in the new house we have a much bigger garden than this one, and I love gardening. So we can still build it to have a nice garden, have extra room to do other things in, even if we don't have children. And if we do have children, that is the actual plan, and we do have enough rooms for them to stay in.
But you know, also the idea that even if we don't have children and we build a house, it's still going to be fine.
Yeah,
like,
it's not the waste. We still have a nice house, we're going to have fun, we're still going to enjoy living there.
Yeah, but I know all of this sounds so obvious, but it wasn't obvious to us. It was, the house was symbolic, you know, the timing was symbolic. Everything was about having children and
preparing for the children's arrival, basically.
So while you're busy doing the preparations and it's not happening, like the preparations become kind of tedious or like almost unnecessary. And it just reminds you that, but what are you doing this for? Who are you doing this for? So we just decided we're doing it for us.
There's another advantage to not having children yet. Obviously we've been preparing to have children and we've been saving for all this ICSI and insemination and all different treatment and so on. So we decided that we have the budget to prepare for children arriving, but while they're not here yet, I'm going to save that money and we'll go on holidays and travel the world with the money until the children come. And when
that sounds so, travel the world with the money. It's not like that.
It's not as glamorous. We've been saving really hard for the past 2 years just to go to just Germany, so it's not the travel the world thing exactly, but we want to see a bit more of the world, visit some other countries, and since we don't have to pay school fees yet, the school fee budget becomes a travel budget, and when children arrive one day, then we'll have children and we'll pay for them to go to school with that money instead, and we'll still school.
But you know, all of this, I'm sure that many people who struggle to have children, or you know, if it takes time or you have other interruptions, like we had cancer as an interruption, I know it sounds like a very go-to idea. Oh well, we don't have children, so let's do all of these things. But for us, it really took time to get to this point.
Because we were like, no, we can't have children.
We want children. Plop. Finish and plop.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do, and we're not going to do other things. We want that. And it's also a little bit about control, you know, like you want to control the situation. This is what we want, and this is when we want it. So once again, looking for the upside, if you go back, in retrospect, if you look back at all of these things, it's easier to find things to turn the situation around. Like, as long as we don't have children, we're going to do these things, and we are going to enjoy it, and it's going to be fun, and we're not going to do it as something to distract us. Do you know what I mean? It's not like
It is still something we want to do anyway.
yeah, it is something we want to do, but it's not something that we're doing to kill time. That's what I want to say. Like, oh well, as long as we don't have children, let's do this, but secretly we're just doing it for time. You know, it's not like that. It's to be in the moment, to actually enjoy it, to live our lives, and just to know that everything is not just about children. And it took quite a long time to get to this point. Anything else you wanted to say?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think you mean you love me.
Oh yeah, I love you. I love the babies we're going to have as well.
I love you too.
And I love Germany too.
Yeah, so we are going to Germany one of these days, and Fransje is going to film some videos about travel tips and stuff. You have to check that out because he's really good at arranging trips, and that's what we're looking forward to at the moment. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.